How's it going, everyone? It's Louis Crypto here, back with another Bitcoin update, and there's a lot to dive into today because we saw some quite bullish things, but also some bearish things. So at the moment we're getting a bounce, which is great. Some of the coins in the Discord are up 40% today, and it might not even be the bottom. So we need to really focus on what Bitcoin is going to show and develop. But what was negative from last night was the daily candle close. I'm not on the daily time frame because we're looking at a 4-hour key level, the 200 EMA. And if I go on the daily time frame, this 4-hour 200 EMA won't be on that chart. But I know the time that the daily candle shuts, and in the UK, that's midnight. For now, on the 31st of March, this is going to change. The clocks will change. So then it'll go to 1 a.m., I believe. For now, it's midnight. And so what we are looking for, if we're focused on the 4-hour time frame, then we just need to see a 4-hour candle close above this point. But we see that this 4-hour candle closed under it, and this 4-hour candle started at 8 p.m. and finished at midnight. So it's actually also part of the daily candle close. When this closes, this 4-hour candle closes, it's also the daily candle close. So I would love for this daily candle to actually prove that the 200 EMA is support. Now, in my last update on Twitter and YouTube, I marked out these two levels. And I also showed you some bullish targets, because once we eventually get out of this dip, we will be targeting 84 to 93k eventually. Might not happen from directly down here, but once it's finished, that's the next set of targets. But for now, or from my last video, we spoke about this move up from here and how we're looking for supports above, on or below the 200 EMA for as reversal points. So then we've created this area of support here, and now we just know that this is a huge area of support that we could get bounces off of. Now there are a lot of other supports in this area, but there will just be too many lines. I know there were just quite a few more, but we'll explain that in a second. Make sure if you haven't already to like, subscribe, comment and share, as we're trying to get to 10k subscribers as quick as possible. Also turn on the notification bell, but make sure that in your settings of your phone or computer, you're actually allowing notifications from YouTube. Otherwise you won't get it, because I also see that in my analytics as well. So basically, why was it negative? It's because we're closing the 4-hour and daily underneath the 200 EMA, now suggesting that we've lost potentially the bottom of our 4-hour uptrend. Because if I now zoom out, guys, you can see over here that if we ever hold above the 200 EMA, that no matter if we correct, as long as it stays above the 200 EMA, we eventually continue higher. So this should actually be considered the bottom of our uptrend if it holds, right? And yesterday it actually failed to hold, but if you've been following me for long enough, you know that it can actually find support above it, on it, or underneath it. So it's about, if we ever fall under, marking out those new supports. So immediately after that candle closed, we created a wick. It tried to reclaim the 200, but it didn't. So I'll mark out this new level, $61,500. And so if I want further bearish continuation, I need another 4-hour close underneath this new support, because it did give us a bounce. Although it didn't reclaim the level that we needed it to, it did give us a bounce. So hold this new level and we should not see continuation lower. In fact, we should bounce if we're not losing this and creating new lower lows. And so the direct next candle saw a massive green move up, so massive pump, rejecting this support that was holding briefly yesterday. We actually rejected it and confirmed it as resistance. This is hugely negative, because not only are we rejecting what was support previously, it's now our top, but not only that, we're also confirming the 200 EMA, the bottom of our uptrend, as resistance, considering this the top of our 4-hour new downtrend. However, remember guys what I said on this previous candle. For bearish continuation, we need a 4-hour close under $61,500, and without that we're not going lower. So although we're having these two very negative bearish signals, it needs to take advantage of the situation it's found itself in with these two bearish signals. But to take advantage, it needs to put in a lower low, which is losing this new support. And if we're not putting in a newer low, that is a 4-hour candle close underneath this point, then we're going to bounce. So we've had the direct next 4-hour candle actually go underneath but failing to close under, in fact, closing above this key level of support. But not only that, the 200 EMA, so it's reclaiming our uptrend. This should then be considered the bottom of our uptrend again. But not only that, guys, we also reclaimed the level we just confirmed as resistance. That was support the prior. So these three signals are extremely bullish. If this is the bottom right now, that is absolutely incredible. We are seeing some altcoins, as I mentioned already in the Discord, going up 40% just now from this 3% move up, because today, since the daily candle close, Bitcoin is up 3%, and we're seeing some altcoins in our Discord community up 20, 25 and 40%. If you want to get in, the links are down below, and it is only $25 a month, and I include live streams in there with all my signals, whether it's my buys, my trades, or access to myself, my other successful students, and my portfolio. So the next step for Bitcoin would now be to reclaim the moving average that we rejected yesterday, the 12 EMA. It's important to reclaim this level to start this move back up. Now, as we did reject it yesterday, it's going to be an expected rejection point. So then I'll just continue to say that this new level of support, can even mark out this wick if you truly want. But yeah, we've bounced from here and we've reclaimed this level. So what you can now do is actually draw a box from this wick to that wick. And now this is our new area of support between 61.5 and 62.8K. We are at resistance. Rejection is not out of the ordinary. However, we just now need to hold this support for this to be considered our bottom. Understand, if we do lose this area, we're looking for 59K. But as we have lost and then reclaimed the 200 EMA, we're looking to break, for the moment, the moving averages. Once 64.5 and 65.5 is reclaimed, as well as 67K, is giving us a higher probability chance that we will break out, meet our 75K target, but then also start heading towards 84 to 93K. Let me briefly show you why I was talking about those targets yesterday. So going from the top of this dump to the bottom, dragging it across, we are already in targets to 86K. I've shown you this previously. We've got some confluence with the double top from 2021 going through the two upmost high points during a trend line. It's lining up with our 2.272 over here at 84, 85K. So we have some confluence there already. So we know that we are eventually going up there. Whether we even lose 59K and continue lower, eventually we go up there. And guys, in fact, if we go lower, this will actually increase the targets. The bigger the dip, the bigger the rip. So here is our most recent dump. That is not actually lower than this point. So we've got a high that broke the last one. We've got a low that's still higher than the last one. So we still maintain bullish structure, as well as that 200 EMA reclaim. Just need to hold above it to eventually break out. Now, it's interesting that the 55 moving average is in line with our first point of resistance of the golden pocket, 67K. If we ever reclaim this level, it will start the process of working its way back up to 70K. And on the break of 70K, we're validating those targets that I just showed you, but actually even higher. Now, guys, we're talking about a 97K price target per Bitcoin if this is our low. But understand, the lower we go, the higher that goes up. So in fact, guys, the bears would probably actually rather prefer it not going down too much, because they know they're actually creating more money for us retail pretty much. So by making us really scared, by believing that it is going a lot lower, we're going to have projections a lot lower, and we'll wait for a lot lower to buy. But if you're just like me and you buy constantly, whether it's green or red, then you would of course know we're not waiting on those things. If it comes, we'll buy more. If it doesn't come, we're buying more anyways. We're not going to wait for that potential dip. And in bull markets, we don't usually play out fully the bearish scenarios. They can get invalidated. They might not play out at all. There's a lot of moments, and it's going to be constant now. On each dip, we could go a lot lower until it randomly just reverses. and we're already seeing altcoins reversing a lot today. I understand it's just short term and we can get hammered back down and continue lower, absolutely. But for now, as we've reclaimed the 200 EMA, I'm looking for these resistances to break. And if we can reclaim again 64.5 to 65.5, this would be our first key level that is reclaimed, but we would still be trapped under the 55 moving average. So I would love for that to be reclaimed at 67,000. This is only our first golden pocket area. So rejections from here, although I'm saying they need to be reclaimed, if they get rejected from there, that's fine. As long as they reject, hold our key level and then push through, great. So whether we get rejected here, or even higher, it just needs to maintain the 200 EMA, hold above it, create the higher lows, and eventually we break out higher. So pretty much, if we can reclaim 70k, then we're looking to break our high. We have a 75k target out of an inverse head and shoulders here. We've also got 77, 80, and 83k here. But if this is our bottom, then we've also already confirmed 89, 94, and 96/97k all in the upcoming future. And yes, these will all happen. But whether we go lower or not doesn't change my bias that they will still happen. They will. But it's just going to either happen sooner or it's going to happen later. So that's pretty much it from me today on the Bitcoin analysis. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment on the way out. And hopefully you enjoyed that.